Wake up. Wake up, Sarah Nelly.
Wake up, Sarah, wake up. I just heard your phone ring. Oh, I slowly open my eyes. Put on my fancy robe from the Waldorf Astoria. And shuffle in the other room and find my phone. 6 voicemails and 4 texts from my dad? What did I miss? Mom's in the ER. Mom's out of surgery. Where are you? Call us. There's a pit in my stomach. Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. Have you ever had a moment when your life became one big wake-up call? When you knew that your life would change forever? For me, it was December 2nd, 2010. It was the beginning of a series of wake-up calls that taught me how fragile, yet powerful, life can be. Wake-up call number 1. Life's a roller coaster. Be prepared for those unexpected turns. I called my dad in California. I found out my mom was in total system failure. It started with gallstones, but her blood pressure bottomed out, her major organs shut down. She had a 1 in 4 chance of survival. The doctors went on to explain that the best way for her to fight the infection was to induce a coma. But even then, it wasn't good. After I hung up, all I could do was to collapse on my bed and sob, and sob, and sob. But then I sit up. Wait a second. My mom's a fighter. I have to fight with her. Wake-up call number 2. Never give up the fight. I start the fight with a prayer, and I pray, and I pray, and I send her lots and lots of love. And as I continued, I had this vision, a love circle, a circle of women surrounding my mom, breathing for her, and sending her love. It was so real that I got goosebumps. Finally, I was able to fly home, and as I walked into my mom's hospital room, I could barely recognize her. Swollen with fluids and medicine and tubes and machines everywhere, it was like I was watching a TV drama. But there were no hot doctors. This was real life. I sat next to her and I held her hand and she squeezed back tight. She was still fighting. I had to keep fighting with her. But how? The love circle. Now I know it sounds a little crazy, maybe even hippy-dippy, but what can I say? I lived in San Francisco for 8 years. I'm a hippie in disguise. But I didn't know if my aunts who had flown in from Minnesota, home of the Spam Museum, would they be up for such a crazy idea? I finally mustered the courage to ask, and they happily agreed. Groovy. So we circle around her. A few hours later, 10 days in a coma, my mom wakes up. Never, ever give up that fight. In the following days of her recovery, she had to learn to walk again. She had to learn to do everything again. Wake-up call number 3. It was time for me to step up. I never had to take care of anyone in my family before. That was their job. But now it's time for me to be a mom to my mom. And as she fought her way back, I wanted to make her as comfortable as possible. So I would adjust the pillows under her legs again and again and again fluff those pillows so many times to make them just right. It's like I was tending to Goldilocks or something. But I continued to step up day after day in any way that I could. I even tried to burn incense, to clear out all that toxic energy in the hospital room. But those cranky nurses put a kibosh on that one. But we knew that she was on her way to recovery when her hands, that had been swollen like sausages, returned back to their natural state. Wrinkled. And when the doctors told us she would make a full recovery, it hit me how close I was to losing her. I almost lost her once. I wasn't about to miss out on a second chance. So I sat next to her and we shared from our hearts. We shared our fears and our frustrations. She's frustrated that she never wins an argument with my dad, the attorney. And I get frustrated. My dad tells me to be smart with my money, whatever that means. But most of all, we shared our deep love for one another. 2 years ago, that phone call changed my life forever. In light of what happened yesterday in Boston, please, please, please don't wait until you get that phone call. Wake up. Life's a roller coaster, full of unexpected turns. Wake up and never, ever give up that fight. Wake up and step up to the challenge. Focus on what's really important. Wake up, Mr. Contester.